spirituality and trauma work do have a lot in common, and on many levels the success in trauma treatment resembles some sort of spiritual growth. This is impossible to deny. However, when we compare the two, there are very important differences that that may lead to some misunderstanding, and let's say that may bring some strange results when we try to project what we have in spirituality directly onto trauma work. So, for instance, if in the process of trauma treatment, someone is not satisfied with the progress or with the result or with what has changed already, often there will be a conclusion: I'm not working hard enough, or I didn't do that and that properly, I didn't really invest in what I do, and all those conclusions. And in spirituality, we often see a very strong and strict structure behind the spiritual work. So, for instance, you have to meditate every day for this particular amount of time. You have to pray this number of times per day, and this should be this particular prayer, and this should be done in this particular way. And we see this kind of strong and strict structure that helps the spiritual practitioner to achieve their goals. And this may seem that, oh, this is exactly how the trauma work should be done. But there is a very significant difference. In spiritual work, whether it's a particular religion or it's not related to a religious tradition, we always have the external source. Let's say it can be the divine, it can be the universal mind or something like this. So when we speak about spirituality, there is always a connection to something that's outside of us. And in order to facilitate connection, the discipline is needed, the repetitions are needed. All that strong and strict structures are needed just to facilitate connection. And the source in spirituality is always outside. We are looking for something that we are willing to connect to. And in trauma work, it's different, because in trauma work, the goal is integrity, which is on the inside, which does bring connection to what's outside, but it's on the inside primarily. And when I say, oh, I'm not working hard enough, and I kind of need to push myself more, I need to impose this and this structure on myself, I reinforce my traumatic structure, exactly. I kind of use the structure that is exactly the problem that I have. So if I use the terminology of internal family systems, it will be my manager parts that are pushing me and saying, oh, like say my parts of personalities that are managing me when I'm traumatized. Like, you are not good enough, you didn't do this properly, you have to change this approach. And those parts are never really satisfied. They're kind of telling me what to do, but it's the reinforcing of this traumatic cycle that is repeating in me. And it's exactly the opposite to the result that I want. For this reason, I would say that discipline and strong structure is in most cases against the healing. And sometimes even just the notion that, oh, maybe I just shouldn't do it so often, may help healing more than imposing a certain routine that is kind of supposed to help me and that makes me lose my freedom in order to kind of make my improvement closer to me or something like this. This doesn't work this way. It just reinforces this traumatic cycle when I'm always working on something that's not here, because the idea of healing of trauma is that the integration happens on the inside, it's not outside of us.